These companies take advantage of U.S. investors until they're held to the same standard as U.S. companies. They should not be able to access U.S. capital. That whole kind of value to society equation changes quite dramatically when your big tech monopoly is also now basically a de facto arm of an authoritarian government, particularly a communist one, called the CCP. We do not like platforms that are used to help authoritarian governments enslave their people, which is exactly what the CCP does. There's nothing wrong with the platforms being, from or built by Chinese people. The problem is that the CCP pollutes and abuses the power of the tech monopoly to enforce its will upon the citizens of China. And that is inexcusable and a really sad abuse of what should be a very positive, even Amazon, right? Even Amazon, yes, they take advantage of sellers and yes, they do a lot of bad to predominantly the seller community. They do create a lot of value for society, right? Which on the show is why we're not advocating like Amazon be shut down or broken up. It just doesn't make any sense, but for a bunch of reasons. But Amazon still does create a lot of value for society. That whole kind of value to society equation changes quite dramatically when your big tech monopoly is also now basically a de facto arm of an authoritarian government, particularly a communist one, called the CCP. So I'm all for this kind of news. The great decoupling, as I like to call it, which is in full motion. DiDi shares plunged 20% on the plan to delist from the New York Stock Exchange. Hallelujah. This needs to happen way more. We need to have not just Chinese tech monopolies, but Chinese companies in general that are public on U.S. exchanges take advantage of U.S. investors, do not comply with the same level of transparency, Sarbanes-Oxley auditing requirements that a U.S. company has to comply with. And there's just a bunch of fraud. You can't trust them. We've talked about how insiders are selling shares from these Chinese companies. We've talked about Chinese platforms like tutoring, this tutoring company that the insiders sold their shares. And none of that information was shared publicly with investors because they mailed the forms into the agency and the forms were never uploaded to the site. Yeah, I kid you not. Go check one of our prior episodes on this. These companies take advantage of U.S. investors until they're held to the same standard as U.S. companies. They should not be able to access U.S. capital. Full stop. So this is phenomenal information that DiDi is being delisted. Look at DiDi stock. Bam! Down 22% today. Look at the past 6 months. From $14 a share down to $6. Another story is that now it's rumored that Alibaba is going to be delisted as well. Look at Alibaba stock. Nosedive, baby. 266 a year ago, down to $1.12. Ouch. It had to be. It had to be. These companies, they take advantage of U.S. and other, foreign individuals' information, feed all that information back to the CCP, violating all sorts of laws. They don't care. No one's going to hold them accountable. Not to mention their numbers. We have no visibility into their numbers and what's real and what's not. And they're just basically an extension of the CCP, which is completely inappropriate. And we shouldn't be putting money or supporting that. And then they were, not anymore, but they were put into all these indices, right? So you have like U.S. pension funds putting money into these stocks. It's insane. So anyway, this is great news. And again, another win. We're getting a lot of wins these days. Another win in the fight against big tech monopolies, especially CCP-controlled big tech monopolies. Hi, I'm Alex. Thanks for watching the show. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, but even better, make sure to follow us on Odyssey, follow us on Rumble, and text us 203-646-5159. Text the word Monopoly. You'll be subscribed. You'll get updates about when we're going live, our latest videos, and we'll send you even a little goodie bag. And in the event that we all get banned from big tech, we'll still be connected.